He was the frail heir of a powerful family. The stone-faced commander looked at him without expression. "You are pale and weak. You must be one of those courtesans." Cole said he hated men like that. Everyone guessed Julian would not last 3 days. Later, Cole gripped the wooden bedpost tightly. His fingers dug deep grooves into the polished frame. Julian waited, resigned to his fate. He urged him to hurry up. Sweat beaded on Cole's forehead. He was strained to his breaking point. He carefully checked for Julian's breath. His voice trembled as he spoke. "You are still sick." "I do not dare." He asked if he should be even gentler. The Denver Protectorate fell to a warlord named Cress. The area's powerful families were forced to offer hostages. The Blanchard family sent their unfortunate son, Julian. He wore a thick, heavy wool greatcoat. He coughed while staggering into the compound. He squinted at the courtyard of weeping men. Julian thought it was a pathetic sight. His 2 attendants, Silas and Evan, spoke quietly. They reminded him he took his brother's place. He had to be careful entering this situation. Cress was a brute, but his commander, Cole, was the real danger. The recent battle for Denver was his victory. It showed the man's cunning and ruthlessness. A horse's sudden neigh interrupted Silas. The tip of a rifle barrel pushed open the gate. A man leaned in, his expression cold and scornful. He surveyed the men in the courtyard. His beauty was sharp and almost cruel. He seemed both arrogant and untamed. "I am Cole. I am the commander of the vanguard. I am here to escort you gentlemen." The gates opened fully, letting in a bitter wind. Julian was covered except for his eyes. Still, he could not stop a fit of coughing. The cold pierced his lungs. It felt like an omen of his own death. The men around him began to wail loudly. They tried to bribe Cole for their freedom, but they were tied together like cattle. They were herded onto an armored transport. The black horse finally stopped before Julian. The rifle barrel hooked the tie of his greatcoat. Julian took a deep breath. He suppressed the urge to curse the man. He chose his words carefully and spoke softly. "Commander, you are a man of great power. Your presence is formidable. Are you truly content with this crude work?" Cole did not answer. The rifle tip traced the line of his collar. It toyed with the fur trim of his scarf. Julian pressed his advantage. He introduced himself as Julian Blanchard. He offered to share a strategy with the commander. He asked for a moment of his time to talk. Cole remained impassive. The rifle nudged the ear flaps of Julian's hat. They moved back and forth like a rabbit's ears. Julian silently cursed his twitching hands. Cole finally spoke. "It is a warm spring day. Why are you dressed so heavily?" Evan explained that his master had a weak constitution. Cole just scoffed. He said yesterday he met a man who claimed to be a golden toad. Today he met someone wearing furs in the sun. He asked if they all thought he was a fool. He held the rifle with a casual grip. With a flick, he declared it was his now. Julian's greatcoat fell into his hands. Silas shouted at the commander. He questioned why he needed to steal their coat. Cole shot him a dismissive look. He bundled the coat into a makeshift scarf. He wrapped it around his own neck. My neck was getting cold. It simply would not do. In that moment, the biting wind disappeared. Julian felt only the boiling heat of his own blood. It was the first time he had ever been so angry. All his carefully laid plans had never failed so spectacularly. He felt utterly humiliated. It was like a scholar meeting a barbarian. He offered the man a kingdom. Cole only wanted to steal his coat. Julian trembled, leaning on Silas for support. Cole's handsome and arrogant face was buried in gray fur. It made his skin seem paler and colder. He turned his head with some difficulty. He gave Julian a nasty smirk. Still trying to play the sick little victim? He told him to stop shaking, or he would take his hat next. He commented on Julian's skinny arms and legs. Julian's breathing grew uneven. Silas supported him, whispering urgently. He told his master to think of the family's future. He must endure this indignity for his ambitions. Julian closed his eyes. He said he was now a prisoner. The commander could take whatever he wanted. Cole told him to forget it. Since he took his property, they were now connected. He would show him some grace. Julian and his 2 men could ride in his vehicle. They would not be crowded with the other hostages. Julian's tone was laced with sarcasm. He remarked on the commander's kindness. Cole replied that it was not about kindness. He worried the others would cry while Julian shivered. His truck would become a complete mess. Inside Cole's vehicle, Julian struggled to breathe. His coughing was relentless. Silas worriedly asked if his master was dying. Evan suggested he drink more water. Julian clutched a handkerchief, hiding the blood he coughed up. Cold sweat slicked his forehead. He removed his hat and scarf. He stated calmly that he would not die. A schemer like him was destined to cause trouble for years. But fate had given him a witless commander. A man with no ambition who could not be swayed. Then, fate sent a torrential spring rain. The cold and damp felt like a death sentence. Julian finally collapsed onto the bench. He was burning with fever. His breathing was dry and ragged. His eyes were too hot to even open. This time, he might truly die before his plans began. He used his last strength to grab Silas. He told them to return home if he died. They must protect his younger brother. He told them not to trust Cress, nor the failing government. He urged them to liquidate the family's assets. He coughed up a mouthful of blood. This time he could not hide it. Evan panicked and rushed out of the vehicle. Silas held him, trembling. He uselessly said that Julian would be fine. Julian smiled weakly. He felt he could see a dark figure coming for him. It was visible through the flap of the truck's canvas. He had exhausted himself for his family. He had miscalculated the dangers of this new world. He let his head fall in defeat. The dark figure pushed aside the canvas. He was chewing on a piece of hardtack. He swallowed it and brushed crumbs from his hands. He felt Julian's forehead. "Get out. I will treat him." Julian opened his eyes in disbelief. Cole looked down at him. The dim light of a lantern cast long shadows. His gaze lingered on Julian's face for a long time. He finally snapped out of it. He promised he would not harm him. Taking his coat did not mean taking his life. He would see this through to the end. His words were strangely reassuring. Silas and Evan left the vehicle without protest. Cole sat beside Julian on the bench. He unfastened his own heavy jacket. He did not remove it completely. He simply opened it, facing Julian. A knife, a pistol, and other gear clattered to the floor. Only his bare torso remained. The lines of his muscles were stark in the lantern light. Julian stared, stunned. Cole's hand braced the bench next to his ear. His expression was still blank. His tone was as insolent as ever. He took Julian's hand. He guided it inside his open jacket. He explained it was a crude method. Just skin against skin for warmth. He apologized if it offended Julian's refined sensibilities. Julian was speechless for a moment. He called him a degenerate. He never imagined he would say such a thing. But Cole's actions were truly outrageous. He was used to formal scholars in layered robes. The most physical contact was leaning on each other after drinking. No one had ever been so direct, so barbaric and unreasonable. Cole snorted. He asked if Julian thought he wanted this. He spoke slowly, unbuttoning his shirt. He leaned closer.
Skin met skin.
Julian felt a strange and awkward heat. Cole frowned. He asked if Julian had any strange habits. A wicked thought crossed Julian's mind. He hinted that powerful families had many secrets. Cole's face was unreadable. He said it did not matter. He could just cut it off to solve any future problems. His smile was more wicked than Julian's. He said Julian's frail body could barely handle a wife. He would simply remove the useless parts for him. Julian's face remained a mask. He told the commander he was joking. Despite his dislike for the man, the heat from his body was real. It chased away the deep chill in his bones. His mind started to clear. He gathered his strength to speak again. Commander, a place like Denver is too small for your talent. The world is now split into factions. Cole had been dozing off. He was startled awake by the talk. He mumbled, asking what Julian was saying. Cole casually rubbed his eyes. Julian did not have time to move away. A powerful elbow struck him squarely on the chin. The pain was sharp and immediate. Cole froze. He looked at his own elbow in disbelief. Then he looked at Julian's already swelling jaw. "I'm sorry." He instinctively tried to rub the injury. His thumb pressed against the corner of Julian's mouth. It rested on a spot of sudden color. Cole stared at him. "Are you made of clay? How are you so fragile?" Julian took a deep breath. He repeated his family's honor in his mind. This was the only way to calm himself. He said it was no problem. He had been weak since childhood. His skin bruised very easily. The lantern light flickered across Cole's ear. It cast a warm, orange glow. He turned his head away. Julian quietly asked his question again. Was the commander really willing to give Denver to Cress? Cole seemed distracted. His thoughts were elsewhere for a moment. He is my superior officer. Betraying him would bring dishonor. Julian presented a new idea. What if Cress forced you to rebel? Cole was stunned. Before he could ask what he meant, a rider approached. The man shouted from outside the truck. "General Cole, Lord Cress has a new order. The hostages are not to be taken to the Kansas camp. Execute them outside Denver. Build a monument of their skulls." Outside, the rain fell in sheets. Cole's expression hardened. His jaw tightened. He stared at Julian with a new, intense focus. A monument of skulls? He was not a fool. He knew such an act would ruin his reputation forever. The messenger confirmed the order. Cress had heard a rival built such a monument. He wanted to build an even bigger one. Cole dismissed the rider. There was a dead silence in the truck. He looked at Julian. "Who are you? How could you predict this so perfectly?" "I am Julian Blanchard, eldest son of the Blanchard family. Hostages from other families were useless sons. If you are the heir, why would they send you?" Julian looked at him calmly. "Haven't you noticed, Commander? I have a terminal illness. My time is short. The next head of the family is my brother. I only want to exchange my life for a worthy leader. A leader who will protect my family and end this chaotic war." He certainly did not mean this coat-stealing fool. His plan was to act as Cole's advisor. He would build a reputation for himself. Then he would use Cole as a stepping stone. He would find a truly worthy leader. He raised his eyes to Cole. His face was a mask of loyalty. He pledged his service to the commander. He sat on his horse, his face swollen. Behind him, the other hostages whispered. They wondered why Julian got to ride in the commander's truck. He must have seduced him. They pointed at his bruised mouth. They said it was a mark left by passionate kissing. It was from Cole's elbow. Others claimed to hear strange noises during the rainstorm. They speculated wildly about their activities. They wondered if Julian's frail body could handle such a man. The baseless rumor was already accepted as fact. Most agreed Julian would not last 3 days. Silas asked if people thought he was Cole's lover. Julian replied drily to his servant. He noted that Silas used the most unpleasant terms. Cole appeared, his expression unreadable. I have no interest in men. I fight wars to save money for a wife. After his declaration, he tossed the greatcoat back to Julian. Julian was too weak to catch it properly. He slumped sideways on his horse and began to cough. Cole's brow furrowed. He spurred his horse closer. I forgot you were an invalid. That night, they discussed more than just war. Julian also instructed Cole on proper etiquette. He explained how to treat a valued advisor. His stomach was weak. He could not eat spicy or heavy food. He required soft grains and fresh meat. Otherwise, he would vomit blood. His nerves were frayed. He was a light sleeper. If he was needed at night, he could not be shouted at. An attendant must light incense first, then gently touch his hand to wake him. Otherwise, the shock could cause heart failure. His lungs were weak. He disliked strong smells and dust. He preferred speaking with people who were clean. Otherwise, he would cough uncontrollably. His body was fragile. He bruised easily. He must be touched gently. He could not be treated like the rough soldiers. Otherwise, he might simply die. In short, he presented himself as a delicate piece of art. He offered himself to this fearsome commander. He wove a web of ambition around them. He made Cole afraid to even breathe too hard. Cole's fingers gently adjusted the coat on Julian. He tied the laces with a frustrated sigh. Julian thanked him. Then he complained he was still cold. Cole scowled and paused for a moment. He took off his own gloves. To everyone's astonishment, he put them on Julian's hands. Julian covered his mouth, feigning a weak cough. Inwardly, he was triumphant. He thought that manipulating him was easy. It was like training a dog. Cole followed Julian's advice. He sent a letter to Cress. He reported an ambush by a rival warlord. He claimed it delayed his original mission. He then volunteered to attack the Provo enclave. Provo's governor was an old friend of Cress's rival. His loyalty was questionable. Cress had long been wary of him. Cole's army was weakened after the Denver campaign. His offer to attack Provo was a suicide mission. Cress was pleased. If Cole won, Cress gained territory. If Cole lost, Cress was rid of a threat. Cress readily agreed. When Cole heard the plan, he blinked slowly. He had only one question for Julian. Why did Cress want him dead? He was his most loyal soldier. Julian considered quoting historical precedents, but he remembered Cole's lack of education. He chose a simpler analogy instead. Because he is the mother-in-law, and you are the daughter-in-law. Cole was confused. Julian explained, "You gave birth to a son. The neighbors all praise your hard work. Your mother-in-law fears she will lose control, so she hopes for your quick demise. Then she can live happily with her son and grandson." Cole argued that his victories were hard-won. Julian said the pain of childbirth is known only to the mother. He patted the commander's shoulder. People say women have narrow minds, but the sorrows of the home are like those on the battlefield. A woman trapped at home is never praised as a loyal general. A general who betrays his lord is not shamed like an unfaithful wife. Cole fell into deep thought. After a long silence, he suddenly spoke. "I understand now." He then announced his decision with a straight face. "From now on, I will be a fickle man." Julian was shocked by this strange declaration. He tried his best to correct him. "You mean you want to be a great opportunist?" Cole scoffed. "An opportunist? Is that some man you know?" "I knew it. You are one of those types. He accused Julian of knowing men from history books. Julian nearly fainted from sheer frustration. Cole quickly steadied him. He held his back. "What is it now? Is the ride too bumpy? Is there a draft? Am I dirty again?" The last complaint was something Julian had invented. Seeing such a strong body made him feel jealous. So he claimed Cole smelled bad after training. This forced Cole to bathe in a cold river twice a day. He never even caught a cold from it. Cole was like a monster who could not be injured. That was why Julian dared to send him to Provo. Once he led Cole to victory, his own fame would grow. Then he would find his true leader. But what about Cole? Julian paused. He looked at the man beside him. Cole was trying clumsily to check his pulse. A strange feeling of resistance rose in Julian. He did not want to think about Cole's ultimate fate. In this chaotic era, a warrior without a strategist was doomed. He would surely die in some political plot. Julian pushed the thought away. Cole suddenly looked up, his expression shocked. "Where is your pulse?" "Julian, are you dying?" Julian lost his patience. "Brother, you are holding my wrist." The governor of Provo, Hammond, was an indecisive man. He could not even decide what to eat for lunch. When he heard of their approach, he sent a message. It warned that his army was strong. He would crush them if they dared attack. Late that night, another message arrived. It asked if they could negotiate. He said he disliked fighting. The next day, yet another message came. He again boasted of his strength. He threatened to crush anyone who approached. Cole's assessment was simple. The man is insane. Julian suggested they should just scare him more. They sent a small raiding party. Hammond immediately gave chase. The raiders retreated. That night, they sent another party. Hammond hesitated, ordering only a defensive posture. After several such feints, his soldiers were confused. Their morale plummeted. At that moment, Cole launched a surprise attack. His force was unstoppable. They pushed right to the city walls. A long siege began. Inside their tent, Julian held a small bowl of porridge. He stared at a map of the city's defenses. The tent flap was suddenly thrown open. A shirtless Cole walked in, shaking water from his hair. Julian froze for a moment, then lowered his eyes. Cole's chest was broad. Old white scars marked his muscular back. His pants were thin and damp. They clung to his narrow waist and long legs. As he walked closer, certain details became very noticeable. He seemed completely unashamed. He collapsed onto his cot. He fell asleep almost instantly. Julian paused, then dimmed the lantern. The change in light woke Cole. He spoke with his eyes still closed. "Are you going to sleep too?" Julian said he would read for a while. He was used to having people around him. He had told Cole he was afraid of the dark. He needed someone with him at night. Cole had called him a handful. He had decided they would just sleep together. "You are incredibly difficult to care for, Julian Blanchard." The statement had stopped Julian's original protest. He had only meant to ask for a separate tent. By a strange twist of fate, he became Cole's tent mate. He was focused on his book. Then he heard Cole's voice again. "If you are reading, make the light brighter. It does not bother me. I can sleep on horseback." Julian mumbled an affirmative. A little while later, Cole woke up again. "Your porridge is getting cold. Do not drink it. You will get a stomachache. Then I will have to rub your stomach." Julian said, "Oh," again. Cole sat up, exasperated. "All you say is, 'Oh.' Can you not listen to advice?" Julian looked at him silently. He clutched his chest. Cole stared at him, his eyebrows raised. "Could you please lower your voice? My heart is weak. I cannot take the shock." Cole completely lost his temper. He spoke in a hushed, angry voice. "Julian, you are my lord and master." He sighed, stood up, and leaned over. He relit the lantern with a quick flick of his fingers. He took the bowl from Julian's hands. The stove in the tent made it warm. There was no trace of the spring chill. Julian relaxed in his chair with a sigh of satisfaction. Seeing him so comfortable, Cole grew angry again. He snatched the book away. He ordered Julian to lie down and sleep immediately. The military cot was narrower than his bed at home. Cole bent his arm behind his head. He made a small space for Julian. Julian did not think sharing a bed was strange. Great leaders and their advisors often slept closely. He accepted Cole's appreciation of his talents. A thought he had suppressed now came out naturally. "Cole, if you wish to marry, I can recommend someone. A lady from a good Denver family, perhaps?" Cole was not a great thinker, but he had been good to Julian. He did not want to see him destroyed by the war. A political marriage was the fastest way to gain power. With his connections and Cole's looks, it was possible. He waited for an eager response. Instead, there was only silence. Cole finally spoke. "Marriage? You always said you were fighting to save money for a family." Cole's fingers tapped against the bed frame. He seemed uncertain. He said the great work was not yet done. It would be unfair to make a woman suffer with him. Julian asked what would happen if he married after he was famous. How could he know if she loved him or his reputation? Cole fell silent again. Julian was about to press the point. Two fingers gently touched his lips. "The night wind is picking up. Do not talk so much. You might catch a chill." For the first time, Julian thought his feigned illness had downsides. Cole sighed. He said they would discuss it later. He was tired from managing the army, and taking care of Julian was even more tiring. He was too exhausted to think about marriage. True to his word, he fell asleep quickly. His hand, which had been covering Julian's mouth, fell. It rested on his neck like a heavy, warm iron collar. Julian was about to wake him, but he saw the dark circles under Cole's eyes. He stopped. The pampered young master felt a rare pang of pity. He gently pushed Cole's arm away. Then he turned his back to him and fell asleep. The next morning, Julian's eyes snapped open. He realized his lower back was touching something hard. His eyes widened in disbelief. This man claimed to be dead tired. How could he be so energetic in the morning? Julian lay rigidly at the edge of the cot. He did not dare to move. After a long moment, he found his voice. He whispered Cole's name with a tremor. Cole grunted but did not wake up. He thought he was still dreaming. The hand on Julian's chest tightened, pulled him closer. Julian's mind went blank. He felt like a soldier in an ambush. The enemy's blade was at his back. One wrong move and he would be ruined. He was afraid to shout, which might make Cole hold him tighter. He was afraid to stay still as danger loomed. He took a deep breath. He carefully tried to inch away. The friction only made the enemy's blade stand taller. He was on the verge of tears. No history book mentioned this kind of awkwardness. What was even more despairing was what happened next. Under the threat, his own new soldier also stood at attention. He silently scolded his own body. Did it really want to engage in mutual combat? At that moment, Cole finally stirred. He woke up. His hand first went to Julian's forehead. "Why are you so hot? Do you have a fever again?" He decisively rolled Julian over to face him. Julian struggled, but he was no match for Cole's strength.
Blade met blade.
Cole froze. He slowly released Julian. He closed his eyes and said peacefully, "This is just a dream. I am still dreaming." For the next few days, the atmosphere was awkward. But after a few more nights, his weak body adapted. He habitually sought out the warmer spot on the cot. The awkwardness seemed to disappear. They often woke up with their limbs entangled. It became normal. It also brought a feeling he could not quite sever. One day, Silas suddenly remarked on it. "Master, you smell like General Cole." Julian paused. He sniffed his own clothes but smelled nothing. Had he become so used to the man's scent? Silas asked if he wanted different incense. He reminded Julian he used to hate other people's smells. Julian was confused. Did he used to be like that? He clutched the book in his hands. After a long silence, he asked a hesitant question. "Silas, what exactly does Cole smell like?" On the 10th day of the siege, Hammond finally decided. He would meet them in battle. Julian knew what the man was thinking. Hammond was sure he could win. He hesitated only because he suspected a trap from Cress. He also did not want to choose a side too early. As a man from an old family, he disdained the new warlords. Cole mounted his horse, grabbing his rifle. He looked dashing and heroic. He nodded to Julian and left. Julian coughed and nodded back. Come back safely. He had to come back. Who else would have the patience to care for such a spoiled man? Julian was speechless, but he watched the man's departing back with a strange unease. He touched his chest. The plan was flawless. Yet this time, it did not feel as easy as his old theoretical exercises. When strategies involved real lives, they became heavy. He hoped for this world to find peace soon. Silas looked at him expectantly. Julian spoke softly. "Let's begin." In the first battle, Cole was soundly defeated. His army scattered. He could not even hold their main camp. Hammond pursued them eagerly. He led his men right into a well-laid trap. As men and horses fell, he heard a terrifying sound. He had forgotten about the recent spring floods. The river was dangerously high. Only a monster like Cole dared to bathe in it. The sound was the opening of a sluice gate. It was the roar of the angry spring runoff. Before the battle, Julian had sent men to dig a new channel. The weeping hostages from Denver had been put to use. The channel was now ready to unleash a torrent. Hammond's forces suffered heavy losses. He immediately retreated to the city. But the second battle began at once. An assassin struck inside the city. A man on the walls raised a white flag. He shouted that the governor had surrendered. Provo has fallen. Hammond's indecisive nature was well known. In an instant, many believed the spy's lies. The will to fight evaporated. The army's morale collapsed. Cole, who had just been fleeing, turned to attack. This time, his charge was unstoppable. He broke through the city gates. The rest was just cleanup. Provo was theirs. With Denver and Provo united, Cole tore up Cress's summons. Cole became a rising star in this fractured land. He released the hostages and calmed the populace. He reduced taxes and stabilized the region. He did everything well. The day they entered Provo, Cole found a house for Julian. Then he said it was pointless. Julian was afraid of the dark. He would end up sleeping with him anyway. Julian knew he would be leaving soon. He just shrugged. The bed this time was much larger, but they were used to sleeping pressed together. Cole propped himself up on his arm. He stared at the ceiling. His warm hand rested on Julian's back. "Julian, you have gotten thinner again." Julian was a little helpless. Plotting and scheming consumed a lot of energy. His illness was already advanced. This was expected. Cole hesitated. Then he asked a surprising question. "Then let us not fight anymore. Let us hold this land and rest. You can recover your health. We can live a good life." Julian laughed. "How is that possible? The warlords are all fighting for power. If you do not attack others, others will attack you." Cole looked confused. Julian did not believe a seasoned general was this naive. He guessed something else was on his mind. He gently probed. Have you met a woman you like in Provo? Do you want to settle down and start a family? As he spoke, his heart began to beat faster. It was a strange, prickly sensation. Cole quickly shook his head. No. In the darkness, he turned to look at Julian. His eyes were beautiful. They held the reflection of the moon. They were captivating. He spoke softly. I just wish I were smarter. He held Julian, his voice low. The usually proud commander revealed a hint of vulnerability. If I were smarter, I could think of better plans. Then you would not have to suffer so much. Julian lay quietly on the bed. He did not say a word. In that moment, he finally understood. He knew why loyal ministers would die for their kings. A man will die for one who truly knows him. The bond between a lord and his advisor could be like a marriage. He sighed silently. What else could he do? Cole would not marry for an alliance. He could not navigate complex politics. He wanted to create a peaceful sanctuary in a time of war. It was an impossible dream. 10 strategists would say it was impossible. Only someone as brilliant as him could even try. On that quiet night, Julian abandoned all his previous plans. He decided to stay. Provo and Denver began to recover. Cole, as the new lord, showed no signs of arrogance. He worked harder than he did on campaign. He woke early to train his troops. Then he would disappear into the deep forests. He would return at dusk, covered in dirt. At first, Julian did not pay much attention. But then Cole stripped down in front of him again. He climbed into a tub to wash. Julian could not help but ask, "What have you been doing lately? You are always so dirty." Cole was exhausted. After his bath, he collapsed on the cot. He covered himself with only a white towel. He said he was looking for ginseng to make him stronger. Julian shook his head. The harvests have been poor for years. The nearby hills have been stripped bare. How could there be any ginseng? But Cole was unusually stubborn about this. He usually listened to Julian, but when he made up his mind, he would not change it. So Julian let him be. After their fame spread, many people came to join them. Amid the chaos, Julian saw someone unexpected. It was a messenger from his own family, a young woman. He was stunned. "Master, the family wishes for you to produce an heir. The situation is stable for now. They fear if you wait longer." Silas trailed off. Julian knew what they feared. They feared he would die soon. He understood, but a coldness crept into his heart. His pulse felt unsteady. He coughed a few times. In 100 years, we are all just dust. Is continuing the bloodline truly so important? Silas and Evan looked at each other. They both knelt before him. They begged their master to reconsider. Julian felt his breath catch. He felt cold and strangely clear-headed. They were loyal to him, but they were raised by the Blanchard family. Their ultimate loyalty was to the family's interests. Just like him when he chose to be a hostage. He wanted to protect his brother and his family. The eldest son always wore the heaviest crown. It crushed him until he was neither man nor ghost. And now he was just so tired. He clutched his sleeves. Someone knocked on the door. The woman entered and knelt respectfully before him. She began to remove her outer robe. Julian closed his eyes. Put it on. For some reason, an image of Cole's dripping body appeared in his mind. The strange feeling he had suppressed grew stronger. The woman spoke. "Please have mercy, my lord. If I leave now, I will surely be put to death." His frustration grew. He pressed a handkerchief to his lips, coughing again. He spit out a bit of blood. "Look at me. Do I look like I can perform my duties?" The woman smiled. "My lord, I have some martial arts training. I can ensure you are supported. We can have a pleasant night together." He was so angry he could barely breathe. The Blanchard family had even planned for this. They knew his weakness was his love for his family. They knew he would not completely break with them. Her hand gently untied his robe. It reminded him of when Cole first took his coat. His mind grew more panicked. Why was he so resistant to this woman? Why was he thinking of Cole at a time like this? Control yourself, he spoke sharply. The woman pressed against him, soft but firm. My lord, I have long wished to be the lady of the Blanchard house. You are handsome, have no wife, and might die young. Who could refuse such an opportunity? What she said made some sense. He was indeed a popular candidate on the marriage market. While he was distracted, she pushed him down. Their chests pressed together. His shirt was half open. He tried to push her away, but he lacked the strength. It was the second time he realized plans were useless against force. He lay on his back, desperate. What could he do? Silas and Evan saw this as a family duty. Any passing guards would see it as a beautiful affair. Who could possibly help him? Her slender fingers touched his chest. She wrapped herself around him like a snake. My lord, why not close your eyes and enjoy it? Suddenly, the door was kicked open. Lying on the floor, Julian looked up. He recognized the intimidating presence immediately. It was Cole. At that moment, Julian was a mess. He had lost his usual aristocratic composure. His clothes were in disarray. His hair was loose. His face was red with shame. He froze. He could feel Cole's cold gaze sweeping over him. Cole was silent for a long time. Then he finally found his voice. Get out. The weight on Julian lifted, but he still had no strength to sit up. He lay on the floor, his eyes half closed. In his limited view, he saw Cole's trembling hand. Cole did not notice Julian was watching him. He forced his voice to be calm. Master Blanchard, you seem to be enjoying yourself. You are at death's door, yet you still seek pleasure. Julian smiled bitterly. He only managed to say Cole's name before he fainted. It was partly from anger and partly from the cold floor. When he opened his eyes again, he was in Cole's arms. Cole was using a small spoon to feed him ginseng soup. He asked groggily where the ginseng came from. The war had exhausted even his family's supply. Cole said he dug it up in the mountains. Julian argued that it was impossible. Cole explained calmly, if I cannot find it on one mountain, I will search another. I will search every mountain until I find some. Julian then noticed the cuts all over Cole's hands. He wanted to say something, but his eyes began to burn. He turned away and hid his face under the blanket. He pretended to be asleep. Cole gently fluffed the pillow. He helped Julian lie down properly. Then he lay down beside him. Julian was wide awake. The arm trapped between them felt stiff and awkward. It wanted to do something strange and bold. Cole's breathing became steady. He was asleep. Julian's fingers crept towards the back of Cole's hand. He hesitated, unsure of what to do. He struggled with this for half the night. Suddenly, Cole gasped and sat up. He seemed to be having a nightmare. Julian did not dare to move. He was afraid Cole would realize he was awake. Cole took a few deep breaths. He rubbed his forehead. In the darkness, he leaned over Julian. His trembling fingers reached for the space under Julian's nose. When he felt the warmth of his breath, he sighed in relief. Thank God. It was just a dream, he muttered to himself. A single dream had terrified the fearless Cole. Julian was filled with 1,000 emotions. He finally made a decision. As Cole was about to lie back down, Julian gently tugged his sleeve. He whispered, "What did you put in the ginseng soup? I feel so hot." He felt guilty, afraid Cole would hear his racing heart. Cole just grunted. He gently patted Julian's back. "Ginseng soup makes you feel warm. Just bear with it." Stay under the blanket for the night. It will force out the chill you got from the floor. But I cannot sleep. Cole was half asleep but still patted him. Then how about? Julian was both nervous and hopeful. Cole continued, I will tell you a few bedtime stories. You said I do not read enough. I have read some history books lately. He cleared his throat. His tired mind jumbled the stories together. The great General Guan Yu defeated Hua Xiong. The Dr. Hua Tuo wanted revenge for his son. He disguised himself for years. He defeated Guan Yu with a special technique. The bond between father and son was truly moving. Julian was confused. Cole continued, the warlord Cao Cao actually loved Zhao Yun. When Zhao Yun fought with his hair down, Cao Cao mistook him for a beautiful woman. For years after, Cao Cao searched for this woman. He was actually searching for Zhao Yun. Julian was speechless. Cole patted his back again. According to unofficial histories, Lu Bu's secret weapon was actually his. Julian cut him off. Please stop. I am tired now. He desperately wanted to clear his mind of these stories. He wanted to sleep. Cole obediently stopped talking. He wrapped most of the blanket around Julian. He held him and closed his eyes. Julian looked at him and said softly, Cole, I do not want to get married either. What should I do? He thought Cole was asleep. He had not answered for a long time. He did not expect a reply. It was a tentative confession whispered into the night. He was about to turn over. Then he heard a low, hoarse voice. Then do not get married. Cole whispered it. Julian, let's not get married. All right? You said it yourself. A lord and his advisor are like a married couple. You are my strategist. I am your general. Let's just stay like this. Always. Julian asked if he would not marry either. Cole's hand gripped his shoulder. He held him in a posture of devout prayer. I stopped wanting to get married a long time ago. So please, Julian, please live a long life. I will have no wife and no children. If you leave too, I will truly be alone. Julian did not resist. He rested his face against Cole's hand. Cole trembled as he held him. It was as if he were holding something incredibly fragile. Please, you must live. After several days of ginseng soup, Julian slowly recovered. He could even ride a horse on nice days. One morning, he looked in the mirror. He no longer had that cold, ruthless look. The darkness that once shadowed his eyes had faded. His face had some color from the sun. He even wore a silver fur coat from a hunt. Cole had made him a pair of leather gloves. He looked like a carefree young noble. Cole, on the other hand, was darker and more muscular. His daily mountain climbs had hardened him. Cress had attacked them several times, but Cole had always repelled him. When it came to war, he had a beast's intuition. The fighting reached a stalemate in the summer. The harvest season was beginning. No one wanted a major war during this time. It was on a cool summer night that things changed. The local wine was probably stronger than they thought. But Cole later said he was not drunk. And Julian had not had a single drop. He did not know who fell onto the bed first. He only remembered Cole gripping the bedpost. He held it so tightly it nearly splintered. His knuckles were white. He did not move, his breathing heavy. He was trying to be careful. He moved with agonizing slowness. He seemed to be in more pain than Julian. He looked like he was about to cry. The wood of the bed frame was deeply grooved. The whole process was slower than his grandfather walking. Julian could not stand it anymore. Just hurry up. Sweat dripped from Cole's forehead. He was on the verge of breaking. He kept checking Julian's breath. His voice shook. You are still sick. I do not dare. Maybe I should be even gentler. Julian was blunt. Any gentler and you will die from the pressure. Cole finally sped up a little. Julian sighed. It was the first time he had experienced this. He was being fiercely attacked. Yet his attacker was also checking his pulse. He was terrified Julian might die. The next day, Silas looked at him. "Master, your complexion has improved again." Julian was silent. Evan, ever the thinker, had a theory. The general must have fed him more ginseng soup last night. I even heard splashing sounds. Julian's face turned red. He told them that was enough. They should get back to their duties. Cole heard this and immediately called out to him. "Julian, Julian, Julian." He straightened his collar. He covered a particularly dark bruise. "I am sorry. I forgot myself yesterday. I forgot how easily you bruise. When you get back, I will rub some ointment on it." Julian coughed. "I know. I am leaving now." Cole added one more thing. "Come back early for dinner. You have medicine to take." Julian mumbled his assent. He waved and went to meet with his staff. The bright sun of Provo shone down on him. For a moment, he felt like an ordinary person. He would do his work, go home for dinner. He would spend time with the person he loved. The days would pass peacefully. It was just a fleeting illusion, but it was precious. He picked a blade of grass and chewed on it. He rode his horse slowly through the streets. He savored the fresh, green taste. He replayed that illusion in his mind. He shielded his eyes from the bright sun. A sense of calm settled over him. This chaotic world would one day find peace again. That day would surely come.